was like, damn, man, I love the Celeritas. Why? I needed some new ones. Why did you stop making them? He's like, oh, because we've just released the Celeritas V2. I'm like, whoa, no way. He's like, yeah. I was like, whoa, that's cool. He's like, yeah, come try it. So I went to the site booth and tried it. I was like, oh, it's awesome. So he's like, hey, I got your address from back in the day. I'll just send you one. Now I got a Celeritas V2, which I use now and then. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. But enough of keyboards, more of StarCraft. Let's kick this off, guys. It's the best of 3 series. It's TvT. And we are going to be starting to the upper left-hand side with our red Terran player, KeeN. And he is going up against the blue Terran to the bottom right-hand side. It is aLive. Game 1 of this best of 3 series. We're going to be seeing our racks on the way up on either side of the map. Gas is already finished, so gas first into racks from both, but no very fast second gas. So just a gas first Reaper expand is the most likely build order here. If you want to go double gas one base in TvT, then just to ensure that you actually don't get so many minerals that you have to build a command center, you basically have to take the second gas on 17. So this will be a command center, and it should just be a Reaper. You could see something crazy like a super fast factory, in which case that could really spice things up, but no, just a Reaper on either side. I mean, the factory will still come down quickly. Once the CC builds, the factory can come down pretty much straight away afterwards. And obviously from there it's, well, from there it is kind of where we will see both players diverging. And in these build orders, the second gas will generally come down just as the factory starts to build as well. So we'll keep our eyes on all of that, as there's the factories simultaneously on both sides of the map from both players. And as again, those factories start to build up, eyes out for the second gas being taken. If you stay on one gas, then you're really going to be looking at a very fast third CC. But again, I think both these players are not going to be playing that greedy right away. You can go fast 3 CC in TvT, but you have to do it after you build up the initial 1-1-1. So you're just going to see a gas. It's going to be finishing on each side of the map. So we will see how this develops. The reactor coming up. And Reaper's mostly sitting defensively here. Starport starts out of KeeN, and that factory is going to move over to the reactor. So we're going to start seeing what exactly the builds are going to be from both players. Actually, they're still exactly mirroring each other here so far. And it's 2 more Hellions on the way from both of them. So starting up, where's the starport of aLive though, is what I actually have to ask myself. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense not to build the starport, and does he think he's built it and he just doesn't realize that he isn't? I mean, that wouldn't usually be something we would expect at all, right? So, a little bit weird. He's actually going to go double cycle, and that's probably why he didn't build a starport, so that he can afford to build this instantly. And so we are now going to see the true kind of difference between these players right here. So we're going to be seeing this Reaper going to chase, and that is going to... I mean, Reapers are faster than a Hellion, so... Wow, the Reaper actually gets the kill there in the end. Well, the Cyclones are going to be the big difference. I mean, 2 extra Hellions come out from KeeN, and he goes into a much faster starport, which allows him to now start up this Cloak Banshee play. But he might find himself in some trouble once aLive comes across with a couple of Cyclones. I mean, these can really do a lot on the ground, and they do have some fairly decent anti-air as well. Pushing across these 2 Cyclones, going to come over to the left-hand side. Now 2 Cyclones on the way from KeeN, so he will still set up into this somewhat defensively. I mean, aLive is still bypassing the starport, which, yeah, again, is a very interesting thing. He has so much gas in the bank right now. I guess he is about to start up another couple of Cyclones. Well, Cyclone's going to help to lead this charge into those Hellions now, and you're going to be seeing them doing a decent job so far. Here comes the Banshee. Obviously, no Cloak finish just yet. What do the Cyclones want to do? They will lock onto the Banshee, and initially, the damage output on the Banshee is pretty darn high, and it is pretty high pretty quick. 5 workers killed, and we are going to be seen aLive pretty much losing everything. Every single Cyclone, both Hellions and the Reaper will go down. He kills 7 SCVs in the process. I mean, he kills a couple of Hellions, but in terms of army, that's where KeeN will have a lot of power now. He has the 2 Cyclones still up, his Banshee is still alive, and a new one on the way out as well. KeeN has a lot of potential here to get across the map and do something in terms of counter damage. Whereas we see from aLive, well, he's starting up a 3 CC, you know, he's going into double armory. aLive is playing very greedy, and he's making 2 Cyclones at a time. If they start getting dragged out of position by these Banshees, well, who knows what might happen. I would honestly love to see KeeN just move across with this Cyclone and Hellion as well. Obviously, I get to see what aLive has, and KeeN has to kind of sit there guessing / figuring it out based on what he's seen so far. I guess he might be afraid of coming across because there is 4 Cyclones, but if the Banshees do hit 2 different mineral lines... And you know what, I actually don't really understand why aLive doesn't have an engineering bay for missile turret. I mean, he's got triple scan available, which is great and all, but you still have to be in position with these Cyclones at the right time. I mean, this Banshee's going to get murdered here as the 4 Cyclones lock on. It goes down very quickly, but it's the Banshee in the main base. Well, it just lasts that little bit longer here, and looks as though KeeN's just going to give it up to make sure he can kill a few more workers. He'll get 1 more SCV here. 8 workers killed by the 2 Banshees. I mean, the Cyclones are very good at shutting them down. The lock-ons now, if the speed up on the first 4 shots, do a lot. TvT starts up from KeeN. That's one thing he's lacking in, so the damage he's just dealt here. Well, you got to remember, he also took some damage himself initially, and aLive with the faster third will just catch back up on Eco. So aLive with the better Eco here for the most part, and you can see him retaking that worker lead now, 47 to 44. His third base set up. Again, it's nice, it's in location, it's already in orbital. The extra mule will go a long way. And you got to remember as well, aLive isn't even dropping mules right now with this income. And that's a big difference. He's actually saving his energy to keep dropping scans. Whereas if he was dropping mules like KeeN is, his income advantage would only be larger. So when he does feel safe and he can drop a couple more mules down, well then he will actually have a little bit of a surge in terms of income. As we're actually still seeing Banshees being made here out of KeeN. Obviously just feeling as though it's worthwhile to keep forcing these scans out, forcing the threat, and obviously kind of maybe getting a couple of workers here and there now and then as well. 2 Hellions peel to each of the watchtowers also, as we do see aLive is just going to focus up on that map control here. Orbital has landed down in the third base, and well, just more and more Cyclones. It's actually mass Cyclone out of aLive right now. It's not what you would usually expect to see, as you're going to see this Banshee. 3 kills and a scan, and that'll be it. I mean, again, you just wonder kind of when is it kind of too much? When is it too much to kind of lose all of this again and again? aLive does have faster upgrades, worker counts now even, army supplies are even as well. I mean, the game in general seems to be evening out. What's the unit tab at? Well, it's 14 Cyclones to 8, and it's one thing I'm actually kind of worried about. If you just have this many more Cyclones than your opponent, does that Hellion count of KeeN matter? You know, okay, he's going to move Hellions into Hellbats, but are they going to really be able to add anything into this fight? As here we go, just mass Cyclone, and he's just got +1 attack and +1 armor, which means his Cyclones, and especially against Cyclones as well, he's going to have a great time. Look at the difference this makes. I mean, he's putting out 10 extra DPS per Cyclone per second, and the armor upgrade means he's just not dying because Cyclones attack frequently, which means they're affected by the armor upgrade with every single attack. And so every single little shot of the Cyclone is has produced damage. Let's introduce us some players. Game number 2 of this best of 3. And down a game to the top right hand side is going to be our red Terran player. It is KeeN. And to the bottom left hand side, our blue Terran player. From my insanity, aLive. Corsair Cup year-end finals. The top 16 players from Corsair Cups throughout the year have been invited to this. And the other day we saw players such as Neeb, DNS. Who else did we cast the other day? Neeb and DNS advanced in Group A, I know. No, it was Neeb and Showtime in Group A. DNS lost to Showtime, of course. And then Nurture and Sort of from Group B. So Neeb, Showtime, Nurture and Sort of, 2 pros and 2 zergs so far into the quarterfinals of this event. Obviously run by WardiTV, as you guys know, and they're streaming right now as well over on the main stream if you guys want to check that out. They're currently casting New Thermal against a laser. It's a big year-end final, of course. The Cup usually this weekly event that happens, and so kind of cool just to see a year-end final. It's kind of, yeah, it kind of all builds up, I guess. Like they have a weekly Cup which builds into the monthly, and then at the end of the year-end final is kind of cool. It's not like a massively big or anything. $1,000 on the line rather than usual. I think 500 it is for a monthly final. command center comes down on the natural from both players. Orbital command building up as well will not be far off of finishing, so standing up, and we are also going to be seeing KeeN throwing down a factory in the main base. So a factory also on the way up from both players here too. So Reaper expand into the factory yet again, and pretty much everything we said of the last game is true once again now. You know, if you take that single gas and then you end up going into the, expansion, you'll take your second gas. As the factory starts up, it really is just the Terran way of building things here. Really not too many surprises if we do have this Reaper of aLive. Still just patrolling left and right, left and right, left and right to see what's going on. do. He doesn't know what he wants to do really, does he? Well, this Reaper here from KeeN is going to be sat in the center of the map as well. Just patrolling both players. I mean, very similar to the last game. KeeN put his Reaper on the kind of watchtower last game and just sat it there. aLive put his Reaper at the front of his natural, and he does the exact same here once more. And I'm going to see the starport starts instantly from KeeN. Well, we see from aLive, there we do have it. The 2 Cyclones on the way out this time. 2 Cyclones before Hellions even, so very fast Cyclones out of aLive once more. I'm intrigued to see how this build order really goes. I'm intrigued to see what exactly the plan is once again. Is it to go into that double armoring to get the 1-1? Well, perhaps. I do have to again feel as though KeeN missed out on some opportunities last game as well. For example, he killed a lot of units when aLive initially attacked. I feel as though he could have done a lot better if he'd gone and thrown himself onto the free CC if he counterattacked after that, Obviously very hard to see whether that's the kind of way to go. A couple of units just going to gather up in the center as we are going to be seeing this Reaper of aLive going to come off around the right hand side now. Got a couple more Hellions gather on up, and I mean there's a Cyclone. I mean the Cyclone's actually so good against this, and a Cyclone kind of flanking around as well, trying to help pick up a kill. Maybe could have come further around before he actually committed to the first Cyclone moving forwards, but either way he pushes that attack back, and now we see a Liberate on the way out. This time no Cloak Banshee out of KeeN. He is instead going to be getting this Liberator through and seeing if he can do similar sorts of damage with this. They're coming all the way down to the south side as 4 Hellions and a Reaper. It's going to be seeing those Cyclones jumping onto it, and the Reaper does go pretty low. Well, 2 armories start up from aLive, and it's very much so the same build as last time so far, even getting that 3rd CC in location as well. Due to the fact that he kind of bypassed the starport, he's kind of able to afford that because he's not producing off the starport and the factory. He's just reactor and Cyclones. I mean, reacted Cyclones are expensive, but especially in terms of gas, when you're just on kind of one base of gases. Oh, this is a slow response from aLive here, actually. 5, 6, and that'll be 7 workers going down. Well, that's about as many workers as he lost to the Banshees before, but when he lost to the Banshees earlier, oh, he loses a Cyclone as well. Well, that's a mistake. I think he forgot that the Cyclone damage was going to slow down there, but yeah, when he lost to the Banshees before, he, he'd already done some damage, and in this scenario now, look at this, KeeN, while he actually comes over to the side, I actually feel as though he could have gone up this ramp still. He knows that this Cyclone is super low, so he knows he has the Cyclone advantage, and he has Hellions to back it up. Obviously just a little bit afraid of the potential reinforcements coming out here. 2 SCVs starting to repair the Cycloners. Again, KeeN should be very happy with how this is going so far, pushing this command center back, pushing it away into the corner, and just stopping aLive from being up on 3 bases before him by such a large margin. The Liberator in the main base is continuing to deny mining, and this is a big issue. The Liberator can't be cleaned up because of the Cyclones pushing the natural. aLive just doesn't have anything, and KeeN will break through just like that. This is a much greedier build out of aLive than it is from KeeN, and because of that, KeeN punish to happen. No. No way. I remember everyone's anniversary. Alright guys, to the upper left hand side we kick it off with our player who tied this series up 1 game apiece. It is our red Terran player KeeN. And he's going up against the blue player from My Insanity to the bottom right hand side of the map, aLive. Light bluey green is what you'd like just to see what the color actually may be. But it's only called that because originally I would have just said it was kind of green, but nowadays the more I look at it, it's like a very weird green. It's like a turquoisey green, like Yeah, I mean, you could argue it as lightish blue. It's definitely got a tint of green in it, you know? It's definitely got a tint of green in it. Alright, I'll get you up on the tree after this game. As we, can see what's happening. It's aqua? I wouldn't say it's aqua. I mean, it's like a weird turquoise sort of thing. It probably has, like, a very specific name to describe this color. I could imagine that. It's sort of like a pastel-y... It's not even pastel-y green. Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. Demoniac milk. Sub. Times 12. Just like that. Kaboom. Thank you. Fuchsia? It's not fuchsia. It's like pink, right? God damn it. Thank you for the 1 year sub, mate. I do appreciate it to see Reaper expands into factory once again. Same 2-minute based openers from both players so far. We're actually only 17 subs away from our big sub goal, guys, which is 300. We've been pushing for 300 subscribers for a long time. And we are getting very, very close to actually making it a reality, which is super exciting. So, yeah, very exciting times. We're also going to be 2 subs away from doing another WCS Global Finals poster giveaway, as well as 7 subs away from a co-op commander, I guess. Cool stuff, fun stuff. Thank you for the resub, Demoniac Milk. What's up, Taco Stuff with the Chia 248 16. So you see 2 Reapers coming up from KeeN. I mean, this is the first time I've seen 2 Reapers in this. And you are going to see that SCV saved by a load into the CC. Pretty much the only way he was going to save that there. You're going to see a grenade coming down, and Reaper's even picking off Marines right now, getting quite a lot of damage done. Now this SCV can't jump back in the command center. Nice move by KeeN to go for that and to pull away. Thank you, Taco Stuff, for the cheers. To have higher level subs count twice? Well, we're just aiming for 300 subscribers overall. We've hit 300 sub points before, because we've actually already unlocked the next emote slot. I just don't know what to get the emote made as. If you have any idea, then I'd be very happy to do it. So you are going to see a Cyclone arriving. Well, our main goal is to hit 300 unique subs. That's what we're going for. Then our goal will be to hit 350 sub points for another emote slot. Exciting times. I don't know why KeeN doesn't go for these SCVs. I mean, this is literally just free workers for him right now. It's an advantage he could take, but he just isn't. It's not even like he has to go that much further into the mineral line. He's just sat there somewhat complacently, as we see this time aLive did change up his build to go for this Banshee. Cyclone locks on. No, Banshee will now have to just back away here. 2 Reapers of KeeN going to move on in towards the natural expansion. Are going to be picking up 1 SCV, a second SCV. Not quite going down just yet. The Reaper will go down though. And that will be the end of this aggression. KeeN, again, I mean, imagine he just came across and picked off another 3 or 4 workers. I mean, that would have been now like a, you know, a 5 worker advantage, and that does add up. That does go a long way over time. The Cyclone's still just sat here, just out the base. As you see more Marines just gathering together down on this natural. The Banshee or 2 going to start moving out as well, see where they can go. As the Cyclones, 3 of them going to lock on. Nice cloak, no immediate scan from KeeN. And he is going to get missile turrets up to help him defend this here. As he has a couple of Cyclones down the natural. Like, missile turrets everywhere as well, so he's really going to be safe against this. Just missing one on the 3rd base, but I'm sure he'll be moving towards that in the relatively near future. The Cyclones pulling back up towards the upper side of the map. Banshee takes a hit off of the missile turret as well. It's a little bit of damage there, and otherwise still looking relatively good. As Banshee comes back around the top side once more, and just still seeing what it can perhaps get up to here. Two armories are going to be on the way up here from KeeN. So a couple of armories from KeeN, the factory starting up as well here from our second factory starting up here from our turn player. Just to really, you know, I mean, 2 armories already says it is going to be megas. Wow, this Banshee survives again. About to run out of energy. Are the Cyclones in range? They are. And that Banshee goes down. But not bad at all. KeeN definitely being, I feel like, the dominant player so far in this. I still just stand by. Imagine he killed off those workers that were on this mineral line before when he had the chance to with the Cyclone. I mean, how much crazier of a situation could this have been? Could have just looked a little bit better for him still right now. Oh, we do see 2 extra barracks on the way here from aLive. So they are on the way up as we see the stim pack upgrade starting for aLive as well at the moment. So stim pack starts out and we're going to be seeing... Well, the barracks are going to get ready to jump onto these reactors. So Bio against Mech here for Game 3. We never really got to see... Well, we got to see a bit of Mech versus Mech in Game 1, but it ended pretty quick anyways, and Game 2 ended very quickly before we even saw kind of really any kind of major compositional choices being made, or at least coming into fruition. So this time we're going to get to see Bio versus Mech, and well, the way this will work is generally aLive is going to want to try and be the player ahead on economy, and so the one who is able to trade out more inefficiently throughout the game and until the later stages, and just really kind of keep on expanding faster than his opponent, stopping his opponent from taking expansions, and just counter-attacking a lot and moving around, because in a straight-up fight, aLive will probably struggle a lot. But obviously that's the danger. If KeeN can force a straight-up fight, well, that's where he's going to become very powerful. And for KeeN, it's all about defending in the right ways, making sure he has units in the right places, all these sort of things, you know. He has to make sure all of that kind of comes together for him. Otherwise he could fall into some trouble here as we see some Cyclones coming down to the south side. And these 6 Hellions coming all the way over to the right. They're going to be looking to run by in towards this 3rd base in the next few moments as well. So they're going to look to try and move on through as we see Marauder going to be grabbed there. Pulls back just slightly. And again, these Cyclones of KeeN coming back up through the top side and towards the natural. Hellion moves back through the center, and we are going to be seeing combat shields starting up here from aLive. I mean, that stim pack's about to finish. Concussive shells on the way as well. Obviously, he's going to build a lot of Marauders. And against the Hellions, it can be very nice to have those concussive shells. You can grab them to stop them running away, or you can just slow them down if they try and run past in towards a mineral line or so. Again, KeeN, very heavy Cyclone counts early. We've been seeing so many of these Cyclones lately with the double armories. Really starting to overpower a little bit in this TvT matchup. Now going in towards the siege tanks, which are going to be, I think, an important part of the composition. The actual scary sort of, oh my god, these things are destructive. Especially against bio units. Well, pushing up through the center, we're going to be seeing a Hellion going down. We are going to see some Hellions poking on the right hand side as well. One Cyclone here, just going to be poking away at that Hellion. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cough brewing up, don't I? Let me get rid of that. Anyways, a couple of tanks will siege, and we're actually going to be seeing aLive just backing away fairly happily at this point still. A few tanks actually going to come in here and get that sort of position, perhaps where he blocks off this transitionary space between the natural and the 3rd base. Hellion's going to try and dive in towards the 3rd. The 4th base on the way up in the meantime, so again, aLive expanding faster here than his opponent. Expanding in position, just trying to make use of his map control. As there we do have it. The Hellions getting caught, and a few of them go down. The others going to back away. Well, they're going to get caught as well as aLive coming in here. We're going to see if he can make that happen. Oh, there's actually a gap into the natural. KeeN, he's going to get in here, and he will get a few SCV kills. That's 3 already, and it's going to go up to 4. Can he get more than this? We're going to see another 2 going down. That's 6 in total. This is not bad. I mean, you're expecting these Hellions to run by and do damage, but you do have to make sure you're keeping on replacing those workers, otherwise you could really fall into some issues. Well, a lot of units going to come down and through the center of the map here. KeeN going to be pushing in towards this 3rd base, or 4th base I should say. Once again, he just delayed it slightly. And this is exactly what aLive should have been trying to stop. Pushes like this which get into position without any repercussions. Right now, KeeN going to be pushing down in towards this 4th, and what do you actually do as aLive in this scenario? I'm not fully certain. Is it going to be seeing this? Wow. Wow. The CC just gets obliterated here, and aLive is in trouble, I think. He's got a lot of money in the bank. He's not spending as money as well as he should. He throws down some interference matrices, so 3 of the tanks will not fire. Does that even matter in this scenario? I think the answer is no, it will not. KeeN will advance through to the winners match here.